right, before we start, before I show you how to do this on Illustrator, I just want to give you a little bit of information because you probably have seen CMYK, RGB, kind of wondered what they were. So there's really two ways to apply color, and one is mostly used for printing, one is mostly used for web apps. So CMYK stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, black. That refers to ink that is layered over each other in a four-color printing process. And RGB is red, green, blue, light that's used in on-screen presentations. Okay, so it's light layered on top of each other to make all the colors. So in Illustrator, when you open up a new document and you choose a preset like print or web, you also choose a color mode. So if you choose print, it's automatically a CMYK color mode. If you choose web, it's automatically an RGB color mode. So just letting you know that. If you end up changing what you're going to do it for, so let's say you do something for print and then later on someone says, oh, you know what, we'd like to put this on the web instead, then you can change the color mode after the document's been created. You just go to File, Document, Color Mode. So if you forget that, which you will, you could just Google change color mode. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted you to know before we get started. And then the other thing I wanted you to know, let me see what I've got here. Okay, is that there are many ways to color objects, and we're just going to be kind of going over them today. And kind of knowing all these different ways can help you to work faster. So if you were doing this in a job situation under a deadline, you would want to get real efficient with the way you applied color, duplicated color, edited color. So you can go into the properties panel, the swatches panel, the color guide panel, use the color picker, and do paint options and toolbar. So over the course of this lesson, we'll be doing all of those different things. Okay, so now let's go and open up our Illustrator. So I have started this, my start for this lesson. And the first thing I'm going to do is save it. So I'm going to save it, save as, and I'm going to save it as K Wilkerson _ and then I'm going to do color. Actually, I'll do color 1. Okay. And then I'm going to save it. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Window, Workspace. I'm in Essentials, which I want to be, but I'm going to just reset Essentials because sometimes when you do things, different things happen. And so I just wanted to show that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is work on this first one. Eventually, I'm going to do all 5 of them, but I'm going to do 1 through 3 in this video. So I'm going to go to Tea Time Start. Here it is. If yours doesn't look like this, you can also do View, Fit Artboard and Window, and it will get it right in there. Okay, so that's what we're going to start with. Now that I'm kind of ready to go, we're going to sort of explore some different colors here. So the first thing I want to do is I want to apply an existing color. So with the selection tool, and that's this one at the top, the arrow that's black, I'm going to click one of the gray leaf shapes. So here it is. Now I'm going to hold down the shift and I'm going to select the other 2 leaf shapes and the saucer under the cup. So I'm holding down the shift. I'm going to go here, here, here. Okay. So once I have done all of that, this contextual text taskbar shows up and it shows the color I've got. So in this case, I'm going to click the fill box. Okay, here's my color. Okay, I'm going to make sure that I have the swatches selected here. And I want to apply a dark green swatch to change the color of all of those fills. So I am going to actually kind of come down here and I'm going to choose this. It's actually quite dark. I'm going to click that, very dark, to change the color of the fill. And you can see that those all changed at the same time. Okay. So now I want to create a custom color, and I'm going to use the color mixer for that. So I'm going to select the black coffee cup. I'm going to click over here. I'm going to select the black coffee cup, and I'm going to click on the fill box in this panel here. Then I'm going to click the color mixer, which is here at the top of the panel. Okay. Um, and I'm going to click, wait, let me just do this for a second. And down here, I'm going to, you can see I've clicked on the color mixer, and then I come here so it turns into an eyedropper. And I'm going to click in kind of this yellow green color and apply it to the fill. Okay. It might not look exactly like that. That's okay. Because now we're going to make sure that our color is exactly alike. So that's kind of a way to do it quickly. But if I want to exactly do it with this still open, I'm going to double click on the C, and I'm going to make this 21. I'm going to tab to the M and make that 11. Tab to the Y, make it 78. Tab to the K, which stands for black, and I'm going to make that 7. And then I'm going to press return or enter after that. Okay. So that's kind of my new, I've kind of created this new color that I want to do here, but this colors created in the color mixer panel are not saved anywhere except in this kind of selected artwork. So now we're going to save this color as a swatch. Okay. So with this coffee cup still selected, I'm going to click the fill box in the contextual taskbar. Okay. And then I'm going to click my swatches button here. Okay. And then, so this is kind of this grid at the top. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to click on the plus button for a new swatch. Okay. So here is my new swatch. I'm going to change the name to light green. Okay. And I'm going to press the global button. Okay. That is selected by default. Okay. And what that means is that when you have changed it to a global swatch, that when you change the swatch, it's updated everywhere it's applied, okay? Even if you don't have things selected, okay? So now I'm going to press OK, all right? And then now if I come here into my swatches, you're going to see that this light green swatch, here it is. If I come into here, this light green swatch now appears here. It's in my recent colors. It has a name. And do you see this little white triangle? That means it's a global color that will change anytime I want to change. Okay, so that's what I've done. So now the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the global color I just made. So once I do that, it's going to change everything that I have changed into that color. So let's change some more things into that color we just created. So I'm going to click the bottom green leaf. Okay, here it is. I'm going to click on the fill box. I'm going to look for my light green, and I'm going to click on it. Now what I'm going to do is this light green swatch, which is highlighted down here. Do you see that? Here, I'm going to double click it, and this shows up. This is a swatch options box. So I'm going to make sure that I have preview checked so that as I make changes, it's going to show here. And I'm going to change the cyan to 90. Okay. And then I'm going to just kind of click somewhere, and it changed to that. Okay. So when I did that, did you notice that it changed this one here? It changed the coffee cup, and it changed this leaf. Both of them got changed at the same time. Okay. All right. So I am going to change the cyan level now to 57. And going to click elsewhere in this box so I can see what it looks like. And then I'm going to press OK. Okay. So that's what I've got. And so when I did with this one, it also did the coffee cups since they both had the same swatch. So when I edited the swatch, they both changed. All right, so now I'm going to edit a non-global swatch. So I'm going to do it one at a time, okay? So with the selection tool, I'm going to click on this one, this other leaf here. And then I'm going to click on my fill box, okay? And this is the first color I applied at the beginning of this lesson. And this is not a global because it does not have a little white triangle in the edge of it, okay? So I'm going to click away from this, okay? And then I'm going to choose, select, deselect, okay? And now I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to open the swatches panel. So I'm going to go window, and then I'm going to come all the way down here to swatches panel. Okay, there it is. And I'm going to double click this same dark green swatch to edit it. Okay. And here I'm going to change the name to dark green on the top. Dark, I can't do it. And I'm going to select the K to 30. So this is very dark right now. So instead of 60, I'm going to do 30. Okay. And I'm going to this time select global. Okay. Change the K to 30, made this global. And none of these other dark green leaves, nothing changed. Okay. And that's because global wasn't selected in the swatch options box when the color was applied to them. Okay, so now I'm going to have to reapply it. So I'm going to come here. Now you can see that this dark green now has this white triangle, so it's a global color. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just close out of here. And I'm going to select one of the dark green leaves. Okay. I'm going to hold down the shift button and do the saucer under the coffee cup and the other leaf. Okay, let go of shift. Now I'm going to click on my fill. Okay, and I'm going to come out down here to the dark green and I'm going to apply it. And then they all change because it is now global. Okay, so another way we're going to use another method now for creating color using the color picker. Okay, so now let's go into this dark green shape. So I just clicked on this dark blue shape behind the coffee cup. Okay, it's kind of a deep royal blue. And I'm going to down here, double click here. Okay. And then, I'm sorry, actually, I'm going to come over here. Never mind that I just did that. I'm going to come over here to my toolbox, okay? And I'm going to here where I have this dark blue box, double click it, and my color picker automatically opens, okay? So the color spectrum to the right shows the hue. Right now I'm in blue, so everything in here is blue. So I want to change it so that everything is red. So I'm going to go here. So this is the hue, red, purple, blue, green, etc. And so now so I've done that. Everything is red. And now what I want to do is as I am changing this, you can see that the saturation changes, okay? So saturation is, left to right, and then brightness is vertically, really bright, really not bright. Okay, so that's kind of how I can do this. So I'm going to go over like around here. Okay, and I'm going to click on that. Okay. And so that's close to what I want, but just so that we all have exactly what we want, let's change the CMYK. So the C is going to be 2, tab, M is 31, tab, Y is 23, tab, and then the K is 0, tab. Okay. And that is what I have. Okay. Um, and so that's the color I've got. Hold on a second. I want to just look at this real quick. 22, 31. Oh, you know what? I knew something was wrong. The C is 2, not 22. It's like, that doesn't look like what I did before. All right. So this is the color. And so this is now pink is applied throughout here. And it's also, in other places. So to save the color as a swatch so that we can reuse it, down here in this contextual taskbar here, I'm going to double click. I'm going to click on the pink. And this pink here is, let me see where I've got it here. I have it here, right? And I'm going to click on the new swatch panel. I'm going to call this pink. I'm going to select global. And then I'm going to select OK. Okay. And then I'm going to save it. Control, save. I'm going to select, deselect. And this is what this looks like right now. Okay. All right. So now we're going to move on to number 2. Let's go to number 2. Here is tea tint. Okay. Now these colors do not look like the rest of this tea packaging. So you might notice this is like what a box of tea would look like. And so we're now going to use a swatch library. Okay. And a swatch library is some pre-selected colors that we can use. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the swatch. So I'm going to go window and I'm going to come down here to swatch. Sometimes you have to, use this arrow to get to it, but I'm going to do, here's swatch libraries. If you can't find that, sometimes I struggle to find that, just click on swatch. And then do you see how there's some books down here? Click on that. And we're going to do art history, impressionism. Okay. So this is kind of some new swatches that we've got. Okay. So now using my selection tool, the black arrow, I'm going to select one of these reds. Okay. And then all the red shapes are now selected. A group of red shapes are now. And so in the Impressionism panel, find a lighter green color. Okay. So this is what I'm gonna kind of look for one that has cyan of about 36. So let me just kind of, as I kind of go over here, 36. Here's one that I can use. Okay. And then I'm going to close the Impressionism panel. Okay. So now I am going to click on, hold on, got here, and I'm going to click on the fill button here. I'm clicking on the new swatch button, and I'm going to call this pale green. And I have global selected, and I'm going to press OK. Okay, so that's what that looks like now. All right. So I could do select, deselect, or I can just kind of click out here in my workspace so that I can deselect it. So now we are going to create and save a tint. So a tint is a lighter version of a color, okay? So we can create a tint from a color that we've already had, okay? So with the selection tool, I'm going to click this yellow shape down below here, where the relax here, okay? Because let's say I don't think this quite looks like I want to do that. So I'm going to click the fill button, and I'm going to select the pale green swatch, but that's too matchy-matchy, okay? Because look over here. Here it's a pink, and then this is a lighter tint. Now we've got this green, and we want a lighter tint down here, okay? So we've selected the pale green swatch, and I'm going to here click on the color mixer button, okay? All right. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually just slide my slider. That T next to it is for tint. I can slide it, or I can just change this until it says 40. Okay. And then that's what I've got. So this is a little bit lighter than the green here. And then I'm going to kind of go back to my swatches, do a new swatch. This is already selected up here. So I'm going to click on new swatch. And then if I have my pointer over it now, let me see where I've got it. If I kind of just go here and I look at, if I'm going to create a new swatch, it's down here. And when I hover over it, it says pale green copy 40%. Okay. So that's kind of my new swatch down here. That's a global swatch. Okay. So now I want to kind of make this top part similar to that. So this time I'm going to use the eyedropper tool. So I'm going to kind of deselect. I'm coming over here to my toolbar, and I'm going to find the eyedropper. I'm going to click on the eyedropper, and I'm going to select the light green shape behind the tea time. All right. And then I'm going to click down here in the bottom. Okay. So I've collected here, and now I'm down there. So now the top and the bottom, the gray shape that was gray at the top is now, I've clicked on, so I click on this one, and then I come down here and I click down here. So now they match. The top and the bottom match. Okay. So select, deselect, and I'm going to go back to my selection arrow, and I am going to save it, Control S, and now I'm going to go to the third one. So down here, I'm going into T recolor 1. Okay. And now I am going to, with that selection tool, click the light pink background behind the tea time text. Okay. So I've done that. And then I make sure that the fill box is selected here. Okay. And then right now, I'm going to go up to Window, Color Guide. There it is at the top. You might need to use this arrow to find it, but I'm going to go Window, Color Guide. Okay. And then right here, this is the color I've got, and this is setting the base color to this current color. Okay. So I've clicked on this, and this color guide panel suggests other colors to use. Okay. It just kind of uses the rules of color harmony to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to have to go up here because I want to go to right complement. So I'm going to click on right complement. That's what I've got here. And this suggests kind of over here some colors to use in this that are complementary. Okay. And so this kind of instantly generates a color scheme. I can change it, of course, but it's kind of a cool way to make a difference here. So I'm going to select one of these bright green shapes here in the T-label artwork, and I'm going to select all the shapes that have the same fill. So all the triangles that have that. So I'm going to do select, same, and then I'm going to do fill color. So everything that has the same fill color, I now have selected. And then over here, I'm going to select a pink color. Okay, and to apply it. And now that has become the base color. Okay, so now I'm going to click on this base color. And now the colors in the panel are set to this color using the right complement rule I set previously. Okay, so now I am going to click out of that, click out of that. I'm going to save it. And the next thing I'm going to do is in the next video.